Prabhu ji, send me.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Hare Krishna Prabhu ji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Preeti Mata ji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mata ji, Prabhu ji. So welcome you all. So
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Anyone summarize what did we see in first chapter? First chapter. Any story? Any just in 1 or 2 minutes? Anybody who attended the first day? Do you remember? Anybody? Raise your hands, please. It will be a revision for all of us. So we're just hearing in the thing it's going. Okay, Sri Hari Prabhu. Sri Hari Prabhu, yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Quickly, the first
Yes,
chapter.
yeah, the first chapter we saw the despondency of Arjuna. Mainly actually we saw that they are assembled, the Pandavas and Kauravas were assembled in the battlefield. And it started with the Dhritarashtra inquiring. And we saw that Arjuna asked to take his chariot to see, and then Arjuna was taken right in front of Bhishma and Drona, so he got very disturbed materially, got affected, and he said he started giving different arguments that he will not fight because he gets sinful activities, and because that different reasons he says that it's not right to kill like this, and then he says he gets confused, and that was like the end of the chapter. That Arjuna is in complete confusion. That was the first chapter.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji. Yes, so the first chapter we saw the preparations. So the preparations before the war, the battlefield, the Mahabharata, the Kurukshetra, the war. So before that, what was happening? So just before the war began, so Arjuna asked Lord Krishna, please take me in between both the armies. So Krishna will be just waiting patiently, just hearing to Arjuna, whatever Arjuna is saying. So what happens in second chapter? We had it exclusively 2 days. This particular chapter we had for 2 days. So Kamala Mataji and Chitlagi Mataji were there. Yes.
Basically was summarizing the purport of Bhagavad Gita, where Lord Krishna saw Arjuna with a lot of compassion and this thing. He said, no, this is not befitting of a person of your stature. This what was the advice given by Lord Krishna to Arjuna.
Exactly, Prabhuji. Yes. So it is we can say the all the essence. So contents of the Gita summarized. All the essence of Bhagavad Gita he gave in starting in the second chapter. He gives gives the instruction again in the 18th chapter. These are the 2 longest chapters, the vast chapters which explain the entire Bhagavad Gita. So first is like the introduction. He gives all the knowledge. Then again at the end he will conclude. He will give a summary. And that the entire essence, the message is between the second and the 18th chapters. So we're saying. So now today we are in the 3rd chapter. So 3rd chapter. Anybody without seeing the book? Can you say the name? Anybody?
Karma Yoga.
Karma Yoga.
Okay. Yes, it is Karma Yoga. So we have. Do we have any other chapter also with a similar name?
The 5th.
Yes, 5th chapter also is Karma Yoga. And what is the addition in the chapter?
Krishna Bhavna Bhavitkar.
Bhakti Yoga.
Krishna Bhavna Bhavitkar.
Yes, Prabhuji, Krishna Bhavana. That is Karma Yoga, action in Krishna consciousness. So this is a word, action in Krishna consciousness. This 3rd chapter will further explain the 5th chapter as well. So now, the 2nd chapter, Lord gave a lot of instructions. Can someone tell me the first instruction? Please raise your hands. Raise your hands, please. First instruction, what we have to understand first. Anybody? Please raise your hands other than Sri Hari Prabhu. Okay. Anybody?
Listen.
Okay, Prabhu.
Yeah, listen. Perhaps listen to the virtues which Lord Krishna gives to Arjuna.
Okay. Lord Krishna says, "Listen to me." Okay, he says, "Listen to me." But what is the first instruction? Thank you.
2 types of yoga: Sakya Yoga and Gyan Yoga.
Gyan Yoga and Sankhya Yoga. Okay, so what does it cover? The first part. What does it cover? What do you have to understand? Who are we?
We are Atma, not Sharir.
Yes, exactly, Prabhuji. Thank you, Vinod Kumar Prabhu and Venkataraman Prabhu. So this Lord says that we are not this body. What are we? Yes, Tanuja Mataji, our identity, our real identity, who we are the spirit soul. Then he explains what are the activities, what he should do, what is Sthita Prajna, what are his activities, the one who is situated in transcendence, what is his activities, and everything is explained. Now at the end, Arjuna is, he gave the entire message of Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna in the second chapter itself. But then Arjuna is confused. And is a little confused. First you said, oh Krishna, first you said that we are the soul, we don't have any work to do and things. Then you are saying renunciation, you have to work, or you have to work in devotion, or you have to renounce, it is tyaga. What are they? I'm getting confused. Please explain. So that is the third chapter. Third chapter is all about the action, the karma yoga. So we have further the explanation in the fifth chapter also. So this is the karma. What are the actions? Karma is the action or reaction, we say, right? Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So it's basically to do with karma, the action and the reaction. So what we are supposed to do. So Krishna explains. So if you see the first sloka itself, there Arjuna, the first sloka is Arjuna said, oh Janardana, oh Keshava, why do you want me to engage me? Why do you want to engage me in this ghastly warfare if you think that intelligence is better than fruitive work? So Krishna said, hey Arjuna, become intelligent, become wise. Arjuna is already intelligent and wise, but just for us to understand, Krishna is saying, it's just not directly indicating to Arjuna, but for all of us, for all of the people, us who are 5,000 years later listening to the same message of Krishna. So it said, Arjuna asks, oh Krishna, first you said, don't be a fool, understand that we are the soul, become intelligent, and you don't have any this work or this. Then you say, then he say you have to work. So I'm thinking I should, as Prabhu said, we have to give up the renunciation part, that he said, listen to me. So he gave a lot of instruction, but after listening to Krishna, Arjuna wanted to again confirm. So it is just one time Arjuna understood, but for us, for our benefit, that people like me, we will get doubt in future. Okay, why did Krishna say all that? So Arjuna was representing us there. So Arjuna asked, please explain. So that is the third chapter. We'll see in detail what is the activities. So this is the action, as the name suggests. It's karma. Karma means action. So can someone quickly tell me what are your karmas? Anybody, please raise your hands. Prabhu Mataji.
Karma or akarma?
Vinod Kumar Prabhu, your karma is?
We do karmas and we do akarma also.
Okay, akarma also. So the action, I mean, not in
Karma, akarma, vikarma, Prabhuji.
Okay, not too much in technical, Maji. Just in simple words, what's your karma? What are you doing? What are the action? Any doctor?
Now, Mariro.
Any businessman?
One's duties, Prabhuji. One's duties.
Duty. Okay, Venkataraman Prabhu's duties?
Whatever actions we perform is our karma.
Okay, whatever actions.
Reactions of our duty.
Reactions, okay. Actions is there, the duties is there, and the reactions also. Yes, we'll see entirely in the third chapter. So after we read, we'll just read the slokas and translation. So after we read, please go through the chapter. It's a very important chapter to understand what we are supposed to do and what we are not supposed to do.
In fact, just to add, Prabhuji,
yes,
do one's duty without expecting anything in return.
Yes, exactly, Prabhu. Do your duty, but don't expect anything. So just without expecting, we have to do our duty, we have to perform our duty. Now this karma, how we can transform into bhakti yoga. That it's not that bhakti is not that we give up everything, we give up anything. It is just adding Krishna to our life. So that is explained. It is Arjuna is asking, what is renunciation? Renunciation is like giving up. So we don't want anything and giving up. But Lord explains that it's not removing anything from your life. It is just adding Krishna. So that part is explained in the karma yoga, and slowly when it transforms to bhakti yoga, how it is karma yoga, how the karma can be, karma yoga can be made into bhakti yoga. Just the, there's a slight difference. So that will be shown in the third and the fifth chapter. So we will go to the story where third chapter benefits we will understand. So there was a, I forget the name of the place. It is Janasthan. There was a place, Janasthan. So there, now as we know, this first chapter, second chapter, third, all the glories are explained in the Padma Purana. So in the Padma Purana, who is telling this to whom? You remember?
Lord Vishnu to Goddess Lakshmi.
Yes, Lord Vishnu is telling it to Lakshmi Devi. Lord Vishnu is telling to Goddess of Fortune, Lakshmi Devi. So this chapter as well, Lord Vishnu is saying there was a place called Janasthan. In Janasthan, there was a Brahmin. Though he was born in a Brahmana family, he did not perform all such activities which a Brahmin is supposed to do. He was not doing any activities which is befitting a Brahmana. So he had he was by birth a Brahmana, but he didn't have the he was not doing the actions of a Brahmana. Action is not just the action, this action, but in the work. He was not doing the work of a Brahmana. So he gave up everything, every religious activities or any activities he's supposed to do, he gave up. And he took up all the irreligious activities. So with this, he was earning a lot of money. He was into hunting, drinking, visiting the prostitutes, whatever we are not supposed to do, everything he was doing. So he was the anti-Brahmin, but generally, basically a Brahmin, but he was an anti-Brahmin. He was doing all such things which a Brahmin is not supposed to do. In one such time, when he was going for a business trip to earn money, to get more and more and more and more wealth, acquire wealth. So in one such time, the earlier days, now we have hotels, we have OYO rooms and everything, we can book or we can stay in places. But earlier we didn't have such facilities. So he took rest under a tree. So when he was taking rest under the tree, some people came and looted him and killed him. So his body, he had that certain time that within this much time you're supposed to stay for this long, but this happened like an accident that before time he had to leave the body, so he could not be freed. He has to roam around till his next body is destined or he goes back to Godhead. So he was roaming in a ghostly form. So and because of his activities, whatever bad things, negative things he has been doing, he got a ghostly body and he was killed under the tree. So he was attached to that tree. He was staying around that tree. Now if I leave my home, I go somewhere, if I don't come back, what will my family members do, my relatives, my friends, what will they do? They'll just be happy. Okay, Suraj is troubling me, let him go.
They'll be worried, Prabhuji.
Yes, they'll be worried. So what they will do? They will do something, or they'll just be happy. They'll just sit, just okay.
They'll search for the person.
Yes, we'll search, right? So this Brahmana's son. So this Brahmana's name was, sorry, I missed out the name. His name was Jada. And this place is Janasthan. And the Janasthan in the dynasty of Kaushika. So there, this Jada's son, as you said, the family, they were all worried. What happened to our father? What happened to my husband? What happened to my brother, sister, whatever, my son? So they were all family members were worried, and his son went in search of the father. No, he went everywhere. Hey, did you see such and such person? We don't have any photo those days. He was explaining, did you see such and such person? He had come this place. He roamed around everywhere. They couldn't find. After a long search, one person could identify. When he was describing his father, one person could identify and said, unfortunately, this happened with your father. He is no more. So the son was feeling so much bad that he couldn't even see his father at the end moment. Just feeling so dejected, he was feeling so bad. He went and discussed with others, discussed with seniors. As we have culture that if you don't know what we're supposed to do, whom do we go to? We do on our own, we do things on our own and ask our friends, or we go to someone else. We go to seniors or friends. Whom do we go generally to get better solutions? Seniors, right? Any person who is experienced. An inexperienced person cannot guide us much, but an experienced person who has seen hundreds of thousands of situations like mine can guide me. Like what I have been going through, it's one time I'm going through, but he would have seen 100 people going through the same situation, so he can guide me. It's like that he took guidance from his seniors, what I'm supposed to do and things, and finally came to a conclusion to go to Kashi or Banaras and perform the final rituals. So while he was going, it so happened that he also took rest under the same tree where his father took rest, and he was murdered. So there, the son also happened to stay there. So he didn't know about the tree or place, he didn't know, but he just was seated there, and it was night time, he was taking rest. And before sleeping, he happened to read the third chapter of Bhagavad Gita. He recited the entire third chapter. So beginning from 3.1, Arjuna asking the question, oh Janardana, okay, sure, why do you want to engage me in the ghastly warfare if you think that intelligence is better than fruity work? And till the end, that's the transcendental knowledge when he shares, Krishna shares that how we have to work, what we have to do, what we are not supposed to do, everything he explained. So this entire chapter, the third chapter, the son happened to read there. So after reading, he could hear a loud noise. He was scared. What is happening? The night time, when some weird noises come, would we be happy with that? We'll be worried, right? We'll be thinking, what is happening around me? Like that, the son was so much anxiety. What is happening? This is this earthquake or what is it? What is it? He doesn't know. He's thinking what is going on around, and he saw that his father was in a ghostly form, ghostly body, very scary form, very difficult, ugly form. From that, his father got transformed into a four-handed form like that of Narayana. So now this person is wondering what is happening. How is this transformation occur? So he asks, please explain what has happened. What has happened to you? What is happening here? From such a terrible, horrific this form to such a beautiful form. How did this transformation happen? So his father explained, my dear son, this is all because of you. You recited the third chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and that made me eligible to get liberation or mukti. So that is what his father said. So his son said, do you have any other instructions for me? So his father is leaving. So he asked, do you have any other instructions? So his father said, like me, there may be my father, my brother, all other relatives. There may be other relatives also suffering in such hellish conditions. So please do something to relieve them also from such miserable conditions. So he agreed. He said, okay, my dear father, I will read this third chapter daily. I will release everyone, not just his family members, not just the family members. He said, I will release everyone from the hellish planets. Everyone. So wonderful that devotee is. It's just not thinking me, my family, my friends, my relatives, but he considered the entire population, whoever is suffering, entire crowd, whoever is suffering in the hellish planets, he took it up as his duty to relieve them from their hellish conditions, or they are going through the sufferings. He wanted to relieve them all. So he said, please give me blessings. So his father blessed him, and immediately he saw that he departed to the Vaikuntha Loka, to the spiritual planet. So his father departed. Then as soon as that was done, the next day the son came back and he started reciting. Daily the third chapter, and so happened that slowly, one by one, from the hellish planets, they are coming. Yamadutas are stopping, but still Vishnudutas are coming and taking people and going. So finally, there are no one left. So Yamaraja went and prayed to Lord Vishnu. What is happening? Oh Lord, it's all your this thing. Tell me what am I supposed to do? So Lord said, like everyone, you also have your duty. That your duty is to take care of the hellish planets. Your post, your designation is that you have to take care of that. So do your duty. Like everyone, you're supposed to do your duty. As we'll be seeing in the third chapter, it's the do your duty. And we say, right, do your best and leave the rest, something like that. So it's said, Lord said, do your duty. And when Yamaraja came, he was seeing Lord Vishnu is lying on the Ananta Shesha, the bed, that Ananta bed, and is all the demigods, Indra, headed by Indra, all the demigods are there, Rishi, Muni, sages, everyone are there. So he also went and paid his obeisance and asked what to do. So that time, the Lord said, you also do your duty. Yamaraj came back. And then this devotee, he continued to the son of Jada, the Brahmana's son, who is also Brahmana, he continued to recite the third chapter daily. And at the end, he also was liberated. It's not, he just didn't want his own liberation, but he put the efforts to liberate everyone who are suffering in the hellish planets. So it's, we also take some inspiration from that Brahmin boy, that we cannot, I don't think I can relieve anyone, everyone. but at least we can help someone. We can spread this message of Bhagavad Gita. We can share it with our near and dear ones, our friends, our family members, our extended family, our relatives, our friends, anybody. We can just share. We can just make an attempt at least. Those days will be hellish. I am into a separate band, but now everything is within us itself. In the Kali Yuga, everything has come to that. Within us, we have both Asuric and Devic qualities. So we can give this Bhagavad Gita knowledge, and slowly it may happen that not because of me, but because of the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, they read it, they understand it by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, by the mercy of the Acharyas and Guru Parampara, by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Krishna, somebody may transform. All the negative qualities may come down, and the positive qualities, the transcendental qualities may increase. So let's take a commitment that like the Brahmin boy, we also try to elevate everyone, not everyone, at least someone, at least few people we can try. And for that, we have to share this knowledge. Just taking the knowledge, we should not be selfish that I got the knowledge, I'll keep it with me. So today we have 50 people. So you say, I'm getting the knowledge, I'll keep it with me. So if that is the case, then every day 50 crowd is there. And if we are really thinking that, okay, I have to help others, then maybe if we see tomorrow there may be, if each one of you get one person to join this, or if it's not joining also, if you bring any one member, it becomes 100. And if it's okay, no online things, nobody is able to join. At least we give Bhagavad Gita. 50 of us are here. We give one Bhagavad Gita each. At least it becomes 50 Bhagavad Gita. That is a great thing we can do for our acharyas who have been doing so much for us. They have explained the literature. The Srila Prabhupada has translated all the Bengali and Sanskrit literature, scriptures in all different languages. We have English, Hindi, Telugu, Kannada, Tamil, Oriya. There are 60 to 80 languages. Russian, all those languages, it's there, available, readily available. So please take your own commitments that we try to distribute this knowledge. We going and telling people may not be so much effective. I tell to 10 people or I tell to 100 people, they may not even listen to me. But when you give the Bhagavad Gita, the message, the transcendental message, just having the Bhagavad Gita at home can help people. It's very important. Please try to share this knowledge. Having said that, let's recite the 3rd chapter slokas. Can someone please confirm if my screen is visible?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, okay, thank you. Let me go to the advanced view. Sorry, I missed it. I happen to refresh the page. Okay, this is Karma Yoga. I need the sloka, verse, text, synonyms. I don't need. Okay, so it's here. So we read the 3rd chapter, sloka 1. So before that, let's say the prayer. Please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Bhakti Bhaktivedanta Swami Namni Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Visarani Nirvishesha Sunyavati Pashati Deshatarani Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram. Thank you. Let's read the slokas. So first, do you just keep reading or we repeat also?
Prabhu, you can read the shloka.
Okay, we can read together maybe. So please be on mute. All of you recite along with me. We'll go in a slow pace, so slow speed. So you can all repeat. You can recite along with me while on mute, please. Okay, so we start. Chapter 3, reading from chapter 3, Karma Yoga. Text 1. Arjuna Uvacha Jayasi Chet Karmanaste Mata Buddhir Janardana Tatkim Karmani Prema Niyojayasi Keshava. Can Venkataraman please read the translation? Quickly.
Yes, Prabhuji. Arjuna said, O Janardana, O Kesava, why do you want to engage me in this ghastly warfare? If you think that intelligence is better than fruitive work, Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So we go to the text 2. Vyamishreneva vakyena buddhim mohayasiva me tadekam vada nischitya yena shreyo hamapnuyam. Vinod Prabhu, can you read please?
My intelligence is bewildered by your equivocal instructions. Therefore, please tell me decisively which will be most beneficial for me.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Text 3. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Lokesmin Vividha Nishtha Pura Prokta Maya Nagha Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam Karma Yogena Yoginam. Renu Mataji, can you read please? Third sloka. Renu Katariya Mataji.
हाँ जी प्रभु जी, हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्णा मत पढ़िए।
श्री भगवान ने कहा, हे निष्पाप अर्जुन, मैं पहले ही बता चुका हूँ कि आत्मा साक्षात्कार का प्रयत्न करने वाले दो प्रकार के पुरुष होते हैं। कुछ इसे ज्ञान योग द्वारा समझने का प्रयत्न करते हैं, तो कुछ भक्तिमय सेवा के द्वारा। हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी। हरे कृष्णा माजी, धन्यवाद। न कर्मणाम नारंभान नैष्कर्म्यम पुरुषोष्णुते न च संन्यासनादेव सिद्धिं समधिगच्छति। नीलम माताजी।
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्णा माताजी।
Not by merely abstaining from work can one achieve freedom from reaction, nor by renunciation alone can one attain perfection. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा माताजी, थैंक यू। टेक्स्ट 5. नहि कश्चित् क्षणम् अपि जातु तिष्ठति अकर्मकृत् कार्यते हि अवश्यः कर्म सर्व प्रकृतिर्जैर्गुणैः। अन्नपूर्णा माताजी।
Okay, Prabhu. Everyone is forced to act helplessly according to the qualities he has acquired from the world is conventional nature. Therefore, no one can refrain from doing something, not even for a moment.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Text 6. कर्मेन्द्रियाणि संयम्य य आस्ते मनसा स्मरन् इन्द्रियार्थान् विमूढात्मा मिथ्याचार स उच्यते। मुनिरत्नप्पा प्रभु।
Yes, Mataji. One who restrains the senses of action, but whose mind dwells on sense objects, certainly deludes himself and is called a pretender.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Text 7. Yastvindriyani manasa niyam yarabate Arjuna karmendriyaihi karma yogam asakta sa vishishyate. Mamta Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। दूसरी ओर कोई निष्ठावान व्यक्ति अपने मन के द्वारा कर्म इंद्रियों को वश में का प्रयत्न करता है और बिना किसी आसक्ति के कर्म योग कृष्ण भावनामृत में प्रारंभ करता है, तो वह अति उत्कृष्ट है। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्ण माता जी, थैंक यू। नियतं कुरु कर्म त्वं कर्म ज्यायो ह्यकर्मणः शरीर यत्रापि च ते न प्रसिद्ध्येत् अकर्मणः। कमलाचारी माता जी और प्रभु, सॉरी।
Yeah.
Okay.
Perform Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Perform your prescribed duty, for doing so is better than not working. One cannot even maintain one's physical body without work. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Text 9, very important sloka. Yajnarthat karma nonyatra loko ayam karma bandhanah tadartham karma kaunteya mukta sangha samachara. Sri Hari Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work causes bondage in this material world. Therefore, son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duties for his satisfaction, and in that way, you will always remain free from bondage.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Text 10. Saha yajna praja srishtva puro vacha prajapatihi anena prasavishyadvam eshavostvishta kamaduk. Jeevita Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna Mataji.
In the beginning of creation, the Lord of all creatures sent for generations of men and demigods along sacrifice for Vishnu and blessed them by saying, "Be so happy by this yajna sacrifice because its performance will bestow upon you everything desirable for living happily and achieving liberation." Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Hare Krishna Mataji. So we go to the 11th one. Devan bhavayatanena te deva bhavayantu va parasparam bhavayantah shreya param avapsyatha. Tanusha Mataji, G.R. Tanusha Mataji. Can you read please?
The demigod being pleased by the sacrifices will also please you, and thus by cooperation between man and the demigod, prosperity will regime for all.
Thank you, Mataji. Text 12. Ishtan bhogan hi vo deva dasyante yajna bhavitaha tairdattan apradayebhyo yo bhungte stena eva saha. Shri Kumar Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
In charge of the various necessities of life, the demigod being satisfied with the performance of sacrifice will supply all necessity to you. But he who enjoys such gifts without offering them to the demigods in return is certainly a thief. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you. We go to the next one, 13. Yajna shishtasena santo muchyante sarvakil vishaihi bhunjate te tvagam papa ye pachantyatma karanat. Harini Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare
The
Krishna.
devotees of the Lord are released from all kinds of sins because they eat food which is offered first for sacrifice others who prepare food for personal sense enjoyment. Verily eat only sin. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Text 14. Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyad anna sambhavah yajnad bhavati parjanyo yajna karma samudbhavah. Shanti Mataji. Shanti Venkataraman Mataji.
जी प्रभु जी हरे कृष्णा
Okay,
सारे
Shanti.
सारा अन्न पर आश्रित हैं जो वर्षा से उत्पन्न होता है वर्षा एक संपन्न होती है और यज्ञ नियत कर्म से उत्पन्न होता है हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you. 15. Karma brahmodbhavam vidhi brahmakshara samudbhavam tasmat sarvagatam brahma nityam yajne pratishtitam. Shanti Venkataraman Mataji.
Regulated activities are prescribed in the Vedas, and the Vedas are directly manifested from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Consequently, the all-pervading transcendence is eternally situated in act of sacrifice. Thank you,
Mataji. Text 16. Evam pravartitam chakram nanu vartayati hayah aghayur indriyaramo mogham partha sajivati. Aishwarya Kuri Mataji. Okay, Arati Mule Mataji. Please raise your hands if you want to read translation.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Arati Mataji.
My dear Arjuna, one who does not follow in human life the cycle of sacrifice, thus established by the Vedas, certainly lead a life full of sin, living only for the satisfaction of the senses. Such a person lives in vain.
Thank you, Mataji. We read the 17th one. Yastvatmaratirev syat atmatriptascha manavah atmanyevacha santushtas tasya karyam na vidyate. Premamai Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. But for one who takes pleasure in the self, whose human life is one of self-realization and who is satisfied in the self only, fully satiated, for him there is no duty.
Thank you, Mataji. Then text 18. Naiva tasya kritenartho na kriteneha kaschana na chasya sarva bhuteshu kaschid artha vyapashrayah. Shakuntala Vaishnava Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी
Hare
दंडवत
Krishna, Mataji.
स्वरूप प्रसिद्ध व्यक्ति के लिए न तो अपने अपने नियत कर्मों को करने की आवश्यकता रह जाती है, न ऐसे कर्म न करने का कोई कारण ही रहता है। उसे किसी अन्य जीवन पर निर्भर करने की आवश्यकता भी नहीं रह जाती। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you. We go to the text 19. Tasmat asaktah satatam karyam karma samachara asakto hyacharan karma param apnoti purushah. Soumya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Therefore, without being attached to the fruits of activities, one should act as a matter of duty, for by working without attachment, one attains the supreme.
Thank you, Mataji. We go to 20. Karmanaiva hi samsiddhim astitha janakadayah lokasangrahamevapi sampashyan kartum arhasi. I'll go with Gita Rani Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Kings such as Janaka attained perfection solely by performance of prescribed duties. Therefore, just for the sake of educating the people in general, you should perform your work. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Go to 21. It's a very important sloka. Yad yad acharati shreshtas tattadeva jana sayat pramanam kurute lokas tat anuvartate. Mamata Mataji. Mamata Patra Mataji. हाँ पढ़िए.
कृष्ण कृपा मृति ऐसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद जी की जय। जड़े विशिष्ट व्यक्ति जहा करती साधारण लोक माने ताहा अनुसरण करती से तांकर निज आचरण द्वारा जो प्रकार कार्य करि जांती बा कार्यर जो मान निर्धारण करती समग्र पृथ्वी ताहा अनुसरण करे। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you. Go to 22. न मे पार्थास्ति कर्तव्यं त्रिषु लोकेषु किंचन नानवाप्तम् अवाप्तव्यं वर्त एव च कर्मणि. Shri Hari Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, O son of Pritha, there is no work prescribed for me within all the three planetary systems, nor am I in want of anything, nor have I a need to obtain anything, and yet I am engaged in prescribed duties.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Text 23. Yadi hyaham na varteyam jatu karmanyatandritah mama vartmanu vartante manushya partha sarvashah. Kamala Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
For I ever failed to engage in carefully performing prescribed duties, O Partha, certainly all men would follow my path. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Go to the 24. Utsideyur ime loka nakuryam karma chedaham sankarasya chakartasyam upahanyam ima praja. Premai Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. If I did not perform prescribed duties, all these worlds would be put to reunion. I would be the cause of creating unwanted population, and I would thereby destroy the peace of all living beings. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Others also please raise your hand if you haven't got a chance. Prabhu Mataji's. Okay, so we go to 25. Sakta karmanya vidvamso yatha kurvanti bharata kuryat vidvams tatha saktas chikirshur loka sangraham. Rupa Mataji or Prabhuji?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Sorry Mataji, Hare Krishna.
As the ignorant perform their duties with attachment to results, the learned may similarly act, but without attachment for the sake of leading people on the right path. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. We go to the 26th. Na buddhi vedam janayet ajnanam karma sanginam joshayet sarva karmani vidwan yukta samacharan. Rangadevi, Sriprada Rangadevi Maji, sorry.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So as not to disrupt the minds of ignorant men attached to the fruitive results of prescribed duties, a learned person should not induce them to stop work. Rather, by working in the spirit of devotion, he should engage them in all sorts of activities for the gradual development of Krishna consciousness.
Thank you, Mataji. प्रकृते क्रियमाणानि गुणै कर्माणि सर्वशः अहंकार विमूढात्मा कर्ताहम् इति मन्यते. सुभद्रा भक्ति में माता जी.
प्रभु जी,
हरे कृष्ण माता जी.
कृपामूर्ति ऐसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय. जीव आत्मा अहंकार के प्रभाव से मोहग्रस्त होकर अपने आप को समस्त कर्मों को कर्ता मान बैठता है, जबकि वास्तव में वे प्रकृति के 3 गुणों द्वारा संपन्न किए जाते हैं. हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी, धन्यवाद. So we go to the 28th. तत्तु वित्तु महाबाहो गुण कर्म विभागयोः गुणा गुणेषु वर्तन्त इति मत्वा न सज्जते. Next, अलकानंद माता जी.
One who is in knowledge of the absolute truth, O mighty arm, doesn't engage himself in the senses and sense gratification, knowing well the differences between work in devotion and work for fruitive results. Hare Krishna.
Again, another very important shloka. Prakrite guna sammudha sajjante guna karmasu tan akritsna vidho mandan kritsna vinna vichalaye. Vandana Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Bewildered by the modes of material nature, the ignorant fully engage themselves in material activities and become attached. But the wise should not unsettle them, although these duties are inferior due to the performer's lack of knowledge.
Thank you, Mataji. Go to the 30th one. Mai sarvani karmani. There's a disturbance. I'll put everyone on mute. Okay, sorry. Mai sarvani karmani sannyasyadyatma chetasa nirashir nirmamo bhutva yudhyasva vigata jvara. Komala Mataji.
Therefore, O Arjuna, surrendering all your works unto me with full knowledge of me, without desires for profit, with no claims to proprietorship, and free from lethargy, fight.
Thank you, Mataji. Text 31. Ye me matamidam nityam anutishtanti manavaha shraddhavanto naisuyanto muchyante te karma bihi. Shirisha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Those persons who execute their duties according to my
intentions
and who follow the teaching faithfully without envy, become free from the bondage of futile actions.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Text 32. Ye tvedat abhyasuyanto matam सर्वज्ञान विमूढ़ां स्थान विधि नष्टान अचेतसः. केसाई. हरे कृष्णा. साई माताजी.
ಪ್ರಭುಜಿ.
Yes, ಸಾಯಿ ಮಾತಾಜಿ.
ಯಾರು ಅಸೂಯೆಯಿಂದ ಈ ಬೋಧನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಆಲೋಚಿಸುವರೋ ಮತ್ತು ಅವನ್ನು ಅನುಸರಿಸುವುದಿಲ್ಲವೋ ಅವರು ಯಾವ ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆಯೂ ಇಲ್ಲದವರು, ವಿಮೂಢರು ಎಂದು ಭಾವಿಸಬೇಕು. ಪರಿಪೂರ್ಣತೆಗಾಗಿ ಅವರು ಪಡುವ ಶ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾಶವಾಗುವವರು. ಹರೇ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಪ್ರಭು.
ಹರೇ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಮಾತಾಜಿ. 33. ಸದೃಶಂ ಚೇಷ್ಟತೆ ಸ್ವಸ್ಯಾಹ ಪ್ರಕೃತಿರ್ಜ್ಞಾನವಾನಪಿ ಪ್ರಕೃತಿಂ ಯಾಂತಿ ಭೂತಾನಿ ನಿಗ್ರಹ ಕಿಂ ಕರಿಷ್ಯತಿ. ಅಮೃತ ಮಾತಾಜಿ.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Even a man of knowledge acts according to his own nature, for everyone follows the nature he has acquired from the 3 modes. What can repression accomplish? Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Maji. Thank you. Others, please raise your hand. We have only few slokas left. Indriyasyendriyasyarthe ragadveshau vyavastito tayorna vashamagaccheto yasya paripantino. Okay, Archana Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
There are principles to regulate attachment and aversion pertaining to the senses and their objects. One should not come under the control of such attachment and aversion, because they are stumbling blocks on the path of self-realization. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Maji. Thank you. Shreyan swadharmo vigunaha paro paradharmat swanushtitat swadharme nidhanam shreyah paradharmo bhayavahah. Tanuja Mataji, Tanuja Marappa Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, better to discharge one's prescribed duties even though faultily than others' duties perfectly. Distraction in the course of performing one's own duty is better than engage in another's duty. For to follow another's path is dangerous. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you, Mataji. Arjuna Vacha Atha Kena Prayukto Ayam Papam Charati Purushaha Anicham Api Varshneya Balad Iva Niyojita. Padma Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
ಅನುವಾದ ಜೈ ಶ್ರೀಲ ಪ್ರಭುಪಾದ್. ಅರ್ಜುನನು ಹೇಳುತ್ತಾನೆ, ವೃಷ್ಟಿಯ ಸಂತತಿಯಾದವನಾದ ಕೃಷ್ಣನೇ, ಮನುಷ್ಯನು ಇಷ್ಟವಿಲ್ಲದಿದ್ದರೂ ಬಲಾತ್ಕಾರದಿಂದ ಪಾಪ ಕಾರ್ಯಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡಲು ಯಾವುದರಿಂದ ಪ್ರಯೋಜಿತನಾಗುತ್ತಾನೆ. ಹರೆ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಪ್ರಭುಜಿ.
Hare Krishna Maji, thank you. Text 37. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Kama Esha Krodha Esha Rajo Guna Samudbhavaha Mahashano Mahapapma Vidyenam Iha Vairinam. Okay. Gaurangi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Maji, Dandavat Pranam.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, it is lust only, Arjuna, which is born of contact with the material mode of passion and later transformed into warmth and worth, and which is the all-devouring sinful enemy of this world. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Go to 38. Sorry, we are running late today. We'll quickly finish. Dhumena vriyate vahnir yatha darsho malena cha yatholbena vrito garbhas tatha tenedamavritam. Vandana Mataji.
As fire is covered by smoke, as a mirror is covered by dust, or as the embryo is covered by the womb, the living entity is similarly covered by different degrees of this lust. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Text 39. Avritam jnanametena jnanino nitya vairina kama rupena kaunteya dushpurena nalena cha. Amrita Mataji.
Thus the Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thus the wise living entity's pure consciousness becomes covered by the eternal enemy in the form of lust, which is never satisfied and which burns like fire. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you. Text 40. Indriyani mano buddhir asyadhishtana muchyate. Sorry, I'll put on mute. It's echoing. Sound is echoing. Sorry. Indriyani mano buddhir asyadhishtana muchyate etair vimoha yatyesha jnanam apratyadehinam. Hemalanda Mataji. Hare Krishna. Please unmute. Yes, Hemalanda Mataji. Yeah. Are you again muted? You are speaking. Not able to hear. Sorry, Mataji, voice.
हरे कृष्ण मैं पढ़ूं प्रभु।
एक मिनट ममता माताजी. Redmi 8A Dual में कौन है? Can you please read?
कहाँ?
Okay, ममता माताजी आप ही पढ़िए.
इंद्रियां, मन तथा बुद्धि इस काम के निवास स्थान है। इसके द्वारा यह काम जीवात्मा के वास्तविक ज्ञान को ढक कर उसे मोहित कर लेता है। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्ण माता जी, धन्यवाद। Text 41. Tasmatvam indriyaanyadau niyamya bharatarshapha papmanam prajahihenam jnana vijnana nashanam. I'll request our host Lokpalika Mataji. Would you be able to read?
Yes, Prabhu. Sure. Hare Krishna. Therefore, O Arjuna, best of the Bharatas, in the very beginning curbed this great symbol of sin, that is lust, by regulating the senses, and slay this destroyer of knowledge and self-realization. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, 40 seconds shloka. Indriyani paranyahur indriyebhyah param manaha manasastu para buddhir yo buddhe paratastu saha. Vandana Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
The working senses are superior to dull matter. Mind is higher than the senses. Intelligence is higher than the mind. And he, the soul, is even higher than the intelligence. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna,
Mataji. Hare Krishna. 43. Evam buddhe param buddhva samstabhyatmanamatmana jahi shatrum bhavo kamarupam durusadam. Indira Hari Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
The knowing oneself to be transcendental to the material senses and mind and intelligence. O mighty armed Arjuna, one should study the mind by deliberate spiritual intelligence,
Krishna consciousness, and thus by
spiritual strength conquer the insatiable enemy known as lust.
Thank you, Mataji. And I think Mataji's son, or he also helped. Thank you, Prabhu. Okay, so we have covered the 3rd chapter. Padit Vanshla Prabhupada ki jai. So we saw in the 3rd chapter that Lord said that Arjuna, you are a great personality, so you are supposed to do work. You cannot run away from work. If you run away, then everybody will see, okay, Arjuna is a great person. If he doesn't work, then why should I work? So he said that yad yad acharati shreshtas, the great personality, whatever the action they do, the common people follow. So he said that. And Krishna also said that I don't have any duty. But still, if you see Krishna, he had 16,108 wives and he was taking care of everyone. He was taking care of the family. He was taking care of the kingdom. He was performing his duty. And overall, if we see, Lord doesn't have to do any duty, but he himself is doing the duty of a father, a brother, a son, a friend, a king, everything. He's doing all the duties just to show that, okay, everybody should do the duties, just to educate the common people. So Lord said there's no duty for him, but still he is doing. So Arjuna, you also are supposed to work, but leave the result to the Lord. So that is the 3rd chapter. Now quickly I'll share the scores till now. Please wait for another 2-3 minutes, please. Sorry for the delay today. Hare Krishna, Master. Prabhuji, sorry, there's a power cut here. Can you all hear me and see me?
Yes, Prabhu. We are able to hear you, but yeah, it's fine, Prabhu. Your video
Sorry,
is up. Yeah.
just for 2 minutes, let me complete the announcement. Sorry for the trouble. So we, as a team, we have completed till yesterday. We read out the count of 368 sponsors for Bhagavad Gita. So let's chant 1 to 3 times Hari Bol for them.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So then today we have another 6 sponsors, and that is 6 Bhagavad Gitas were sponsored, 5 by Sandhya Mataji and 1 by Vandana Mataji. Let's chant 3 times for them.
Unmute.
Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. And total till today 81 Bhakti kits were distributed. Bhakti kits is a set of 5 small books along with the Bhagavad Gita, which comes free. So the Bhakti kits, 81 Bhakti kits were distributed, were ordered. Please chant 3 times Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Okay. And currently, a few devotees have distributed Bhagavad Gita. 160 Bhagavad Gitas are distributed till now. Hari Bol, Hari Bol. How many of us are here? 46 of us are here, but I hear only 6. Okay. Then one Srimad Bhagavatam said, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari
Bol. Hari Bol.
Hari Krishna. And one Chaitanya Charitamrita said, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji and Mataji. Thank you for joining. Please try to distribute as many Bhagavad Gitas as possible. So we saw the 3rd chapter today. Thank you, Lokpalika Mataji, for giving me an opportunity. We'll see 4th chapter tomorrow. Thank you, Prabhu and Mataji, for joining. Please, the link. Maji, if you can share the link in the group chat.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Dandavad Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Renuka Mataji. Hare Krishna, Shanti Devi Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna,
Lokesh.
Durgesh.
Say yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, Hare Krishna, Durgesh. See you tomorrow.
I am Harshit, Prabhuji.
Harshit, Hare Krishna,
Prabhuji.
Harshit and Lokesh. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Say Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna. Hare Krishna, Usha Mataji, Hare Krishna, Shri Kumar Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Shanti Devi Mataji, Hare Krishna, Renu Mataji, Mamta Mataji, Sai Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Bolo.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay. So आप सभी के परमिशन से, with all your permissions, ending the meeting here. शास्त्रदान का लिंक माताजी शेयर की है. माताजी शेयर the शास्त्रदान link. Please go through. Please, if you are able to contribute something or distribute the Bhagavad Gita to your maximum capacity. Hari Bol. See you all tomorrow.
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Lokpalika Mataji. We can end the meeting. Hare Krishna.
Yes,
Thank you.
Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Dandavad Pranam, Mataji. Dandavad Pranam, Prabhuji and Mataji.